Additional parameter. Additional parameters is a feature where the superadmin can opt to add any additional information to be captured during the audit execution, /Auditee Signoff, /audit review, or during issue resolution at a checkpoint level. There are 20 such parameters, 15 named and 5 unnamed, that can be chosen. Once added to the audit type, the additional parameters will be applied to all checkpoints. In general, additional parameters are not mandatory. If the superadmin wishes so, compulsory tagging can be done for any of the parameters so added. The information would then need to be filled in by the respective roles configured while updating observations at a checkpoint level. The detail required, data type, to be captured against each of the parameter can also be defined by the superadmin. This training video is about additional parameters as a feature in Audit 360. Kindly log in to Audit 360 login page and enter your credentials. During configuration of audit, depending on the need of the additional parameter, superadmin need to enable the workflow option. Do you wish to add additional information at checkpoint level? Once the additional parameter feature button is enabled, a tooltips box appears. There are total 20 parameter types available, of which 7 parameters are already being defined in Audit 360. 8 parameters type can be added based on the requirement, and 5 parameters are being unnamed. The 7 defined parameters are RCA, root cause analysis, risk implication, financial impact, risk family, recommendation, corrective action plan, preventive action plan. Other 8 parameters are 1. Likelihood, 2. Impact, 3. Severity, 4. Risk rating, 5. Sample verified, 6. Sampled passed, 7. Sample incorrect, 8. Tolerance bank. The other parameter types, others 1 to others 5, which is an editable field, can be named as per requirement by selecting the box. Click on the box to select the parameter type required, and if the selected parameter type is to be made as mandatory, click on the box, and depending on the requirement, view access to the selected roles can be restricted. Select the input type from the drop-down list. If the selected input type is values, then 12 predefined remarks can be added, which will be a drop-down choice for the auditors. If the parameter type is selected as mandatory, then mandatory validation will be applicable in case the checkpoint is non-complied. Note: parameter type can be made as mandatory or non-mandatory for the user. Formula can also be defined as per the requirement under input values. The entered formula needs to be verified. If the entered formula is correct, system gives an indication with a tick mark. Note: the formula can be applied against the input value selected as numbers from different parameter type selected. The formula can have different mathematical functions such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and percentage. The formula will get auto-calculated and the values will be shown to the user when the input parameter values is defined by the user. If the enter formula is wrong, then system given an indication that the entered formula is not valid. Note: for the parameter type selected where the formula has been applied under the tab Input Values is a non-editable tab and the outcome is auto-populated. Different roles, auditor/auditee/reviewer, can be selected by the superadmin for inputting the additional information at a checkpoint level. Note: only one role can be selected against each parameter type. For different roles, different levels are available which can be configured as per the requirement. For auditor, up to audit submission level. For auditee, up to sign-off level, or up to issue resolution level, and, for reviewer, up to audit finalization level. If the parameter type is selected as mandatory, then the additional parameter must be updated by the respective user depending on the update level selected. And while executing the audit in web, the selected parameter type will be visible for the auditor, and it will be mandatory, if tagged as mandatory, for the auditor to input the remarks if the checkpoint is non-complied. If the auditor tries to click on Next button, without entering the remarks for parameter type selected as mandatory, then system gives a pop-up message, please fill out this field. But if the auditor wishes to add the remarks even if the checkpoint is complied, it is possible. During audit execution, in mobile. In mobile execution, at every checkpoint, the parameters selected will be displayed, as shown for the auditor to be filled. While executing, if the checkpoint is non-complied, then system pops a message that RCA is mandatory for remarks updation, since the said parameter type is made as mandatory. During Auditee Signoff process, an information is displayed as additional information parameter is mandatory for Auditee. Please update additional parameter, then you can submit the audit if the parameter type is selected as mandatory for Auditee user. The sign-off will not happen without the additional parameter field being entered. Click on I button to view and update the additional information. While configuring the audit type, if parameter type selected as mandatory for Auditee user. Auditee user need to update the additional information either while selecting the Accept or Re-examine button during the Auditee sign-off process. During audit review workflow, under Review Audit module, reviewer need to select the audit under the execution status as accepted to review the audit. The reviewer must click on the Edit button to view the information at a checkpoint level. Reviewer must click on the Edit button to view the information at a checkpoint level. If the reviewer clicks on Reviewed button without checking the details at the checkpoint level, where issue has been identified and accepted by Auditee during sign-off process, system pops up a message, additional information parameter is mandatory for reviewer. Please update additional parameter, then you can finalize the audit if the parameter type is selected as mandatory. Reviewer must click on the Edit button to view the information at a checkpoint level, and to mention the remarks for the parameter type set as mandatory. Once the audit has been reviewed, and post updating the mandatory additional information parameter, system will prompt with Finalize button to finalize the audit. The status of the audit will be finalized. Before the audit is finalized, auditor can add or make changes at additional parameter level for all complied or non-complied checkpoints if required under Past Audits option. The parameter type should be selected as not mandatory during audit type configuration. To make any changes, select Past Audits, and click on View Audit Info option to view or make any changes. Note: if the additional parameter selected is mandatory, auditor has only View option and cannot edit it. All the checkpoints will be visible. To view or make any changes, click on the Edit option on the left. Auditor can view and edit the information. Once completed, click on Submit. Thank you.